Speech preparation. The topic that is likely on most of your minds as we approach our first speech of the semester. And that is our topic for week 8. This lecture is a supplement to your reading from chapter 11 for this week. If you have not read that chapter, please go do that and then come back to view this lecture. Now, last week in the lecture, I talked about the kinds of things I'll be looking for in your speeches in regard to nonverbal behavior. This week, we'll talk about how to choose a topic, a great resource for researching any topics for any of your classes, what to do if you're scared, and your type of delivery. Choosing your topic. Let's talk about this for a moment. The first step is to find something that interests you. If you like the subject, if you're passionate about it, you'll enjoy the research and probably do a more thorough job at it. Then, when it comes to your speech, that should come more naturally as well. It can only be a good thing if you're comfortable with the subject matter, so pick something you like. Having said that, this is a college-level course. Your topic doesn't have to be lofty or intellectual. I want you to have fun with it. But you do have to have a certain level of sophistication in your language and your topic. So pick something that would appeal to college-aged people and beyond, since we have quite a few older adults in this class. You've gotten to know them a bit through the discussion boards, so you can kind of judge from that the kinds of people you have in class. Speaking of your class, they are your audience for this speech. That means you should speak to them. You can use them as an example in your speech if they said something in a discussion board that you wanted to bring in. In our next speech, I'll allow you to choose and identify any audience you would like. But for this speech, your audience is your class and, of course, your instructor. If you want a good grade, don't bore your instructor, right? Next, brainstorm. That means you get online or look through the books and magazines you like to read. Start making a list of possible topics. Think about things you might like to learn more about. Someone you love might have skin cancer or a certain disease. Do your speech on that. Have you always wanted to go skydiving or learn to skateboard? Do your speech on that. Google speech ideas. Just Google it. See what other people have done in their college courses. Remember, your first speech is a how-to speech which needs to describe a process by which you or someone does something. Your second speech is an informative speech, and there's no reason why you can't look for topics on both while you're at it. Finally, not too broad. Make sure that you pick a topic that is not too broad. Make sure you pick a topic that you don't need 10, 15, 20 minutes to explain. Make sure you pick a topic that is specific enough that it will fit into your time frame. All right, I promised you a great resource for doing your research. You may not appreciate this at the moment, but because you are a Wake Tech student, you have a great resource available to you. You can access complete research-based journal articles through the databases available through your library homepage. Well, why is this important? That final speech is the culmination of everything you've learned in this class. It will need to be a college-level speech and paper with 3 to 5 credible sources cited. That means you won't be going to Wikipedia, you won't be quoting some blog or website or a friend that has no qualifications to speak on your topic. You'll be looking for credible magazine articles, journal articles, news articles. Most of these can be found online. Some of the peer review journal articles cannot. They can only be downloaded if you pay for them unless you have this great resource. This is where the databases come in. You have access to all of these scholarly journals that most people have to pay for. I would suggest that you begin your research there. Now, nothing wrong with doing your brainstorming for a topic by doing Google searches. But once you have your topic or you're getting close, take your speech to the professional databases. And that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so we're going to start here by going to the Wake Tech Libraries homepage. It is waketech.edu/student-services/libraries. You'll look down here and see research tools, and these are the tools that I was talking about, the databases that I was talking about. Now, my favorite database is this JSTOR, just because there are a lot of things on that database that interest me. But you may want to do one on Mango languages. You may be more interested in science things. If that's the case, you would go to these databases. I'd like to show you this one. It's NC Live. We're going to go look at it. You're going to click on it. You're going to log in with your Wake Tech username and password. Now, if you try to go straight to NC Live without going through the Wake Tech page, you may have problems. So go to the libraries page and go through it like that, and it'll allow you in. So let's say you wanted to do some research on skin cancer. Okay, so I'm going to type in skin cancer up here. It's going to take you to the NC Live database. As you can see over here, 994,000 results. Whoa, too many. I want to limit my search a bit. Let's say treatments. I want to know the most recent treatments on skin cancer. So you look down here and you can see this is the publication date is from the year 1000 to 2014. Well, I just want the most recent. So that means I'm going to put like 2012. And I'm going to update. Okay. So that brings my research results down to 118,000. Still a bunch, right? But it is sorted by relevance. See if that you can sort it by relevance, date newest, date oldest. So I want actually the newest information. So I'm going to click on date newest. Now I want to go down here because I'd like to limit my search again. This is a medical topic, and there are a lot of highly technical articles in here. So for this instance, I'm not going to do academic journals because I just really don't want to go into that much detail in depth. So I'm going to say I want some news articles and magazine articles. And I'm going to update. This will put it down on a more layman's level rather than a medical professional's level. Let's pick something else. Let's say internships. We want to know, how about finding internships? All right, I want still the last 2 years. I really only want news, magazines, academic journals. That might be interesting. Let's try that. How to impress during work experience. That sounds pretty interesting. So let's say I wanted to do that. How to, we're doing a how-to speech. So I click on that, and this brings up kind of a synopsis of that article. Looks pretty good. The article offers guidelines to teenagers on how to impress during internship in various industries. Hey, that sounds like it might be interesting. I'm going to click on HTML full text, and it's going to open up this article. It's a very short article, but kind of interesting. Okay, so you get the idea. Our next topic of conversation for this lecture is, what if you're scared? What if the thought of doing a speech in front of a class, your instructor, and worse still, your family, makes you break out in a cold sweat? So what are you afraid of? Let's talk about that for a few minutes. The most common thing I hear from people is they are afraid they will freeze up and their mind will go blank. Well, that's why you have note cards. It happens to everybody occasionally. If you lose your place or your mind goes blank, this is not a catastrophe. It's just not. It is actually a good thing for your audience. Think about that. This is a good thing. You know the material you're presenting, but they don't. A pause, even a long pause, is a chance for your audience to think about what you're saying and catch up a bit. Now, the only way your audience is going to know that your pause was not intentional is if you tell them by saying, "Oh, no, I lost my place," or, "Oh, my mind just went blank." Don't say anything, just pause. Don't be afraid of the silence. Silence is good. Recheck your note cards, find your place, take a deep breath, and go on. People will think you're thoughtful, contemplative, unhurried, and relaxed. So stop worrying about that. It's going to be just fine. What if you speak and the words come out all wrong? Once again, this is common in everyday conversation. We don't speak perfectly, and most of the time, no one even notices. So don't draw attention to it. Don't say, "Oh, I can't talk today," or, "Ooh, that didn't come out right." Just casually start the sentence over again and say it correctly. No one, including your instructor, will likely even notice or care. In addition, take note of your self-talk prior to your speeches. What do you say to you? Are you encouraging you? Do you visualize yourself doing a great job and being interesting? Or do you entertain negative thoughts and self-talk such as, "I hate this, I hate giving speeches," or "I'm terrible at this"? Don't go there. Don't allow that. Just because you had trouble with this last time does not mean you will continue to have trouble the rest of your life. You're getting older. You're getting smarter. You learn from your mistakes. Don't be peg-holed into saying, "I'm not a good public speaker," just because you had one bad experience or even two. You're going to do great. I would actually challenge you to say to yourself, "This is going to be fun." I mean, think about it. How many times in your life do you get to be the complete center of attention in a room when you're prepared and more informed on a topic than anyone else, and you have everyone's attention? A quick story. I used to do a lot of on-camera work for training videos and some commercials. There were a few times when I was in a situation where they shot on film. Now, film is much more expensive than video. They don't like to waste film. It could be more scary to get the lines right when they're shooting film. But I would say to myself, I like film. I like the higher stakes. It makes it more exciting. I do great under pressure. That was my self-talk. In reality now, I performed the same on film as I did on video. It really wasn't that much different, but that self-talk helped me to settle down and take it as a challenge that I was up for. Having said all that, don't think you can pep talk your way into doing a great job if you haven't prepared sufficiently. Remember what we talked about in the last lecture. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Or practice makes permanent. So practice, practice, practice. But practice your speeches the way you will deliver them. Practice your eye contact. Practice your pauses. Practice your gestures. Practice looking credible and comfortable. All of those things we talked about in last week's lecture. One quick note about delivery. I thought it was interesting in your book that they give you 4 options for delivery and they did not include the option that I would recommend. Here are some basic guidelines for speeches for this class. I think this is the most practical way to present speeches or make presentations in a business setting as well. First, don't memorize your speech word for word. Do not. Don't try. If you practice a lot, you're going to be very familiar with your speech, but don't worry about memorizing every word. Do memorize your main points in their order. Do use note cards to remind you about your main points if you get lost, or you want to make sure you don't forget an important point, or if you have a quote you want to read exactly. But basically, you'll deliver each part of your speech and it will sound similar each time you do it, but not exactly word for word. This is very doable. This is not hard. You will relax. You know the content. You just have to cover each point. Finally, use me as a resource as you're developing your speeches. Remember our first lecture where I talked about not asking stupid questions? Asking intelligent questions is an important part of communicating, especially in a work or school environment. But questions about your topic are not stupid questions. If you want to send over a copy of your speech or outline, that is not a stupid question. I am a resource for you. I want to see you be successful on these speeches. I am more than happy to provide feedback if you're not sure you're headed in the right direction. Of course, I would expect you to have read all the information in the speech folder before asking questions, but I'm more than happy to help if you need it. One last note. Do a good job on these speeches. This is not just some college course that doesn't matter, just some grade that doesn't have any effect. If you do well on these speeches, when you're asked to do a speech in another class, when you're asked to speak to a staff in a business meeting, or you have to present something in a boardroom, you're going to remember this. And if you've done a good job on these speeches in this class, you're going to go, I got this. I'm going to nail this. So take these seriously. Do a good job on these. You will remember that you did a good job on these when you need to have this in your hip pocket at some point in the future. I hope you have a great week.